To those viewers who are watching on YouTube, you're watching right at the start of the video, so hello. I am now officially done with the Unity micro game tutorial. By no means am I done learning Unity though, but I think it's probably time to start work on my own project. It'll take a bit of time to get transitioned into that, and so there's probably going to be one or two streams of me transitioning into that, getting some other stuff set up. To be honest, there's a part of me that's like dreading moving on from the thing I was working on to now like really dedicate work on my project. It's a very, very scary step. And I think a lot of people talk about the difficulties of game development, of indie game development. I saw an ad where it was like, use us to, hire us to help you get your game done or whatever, and their tagline was, start your game, finish your game, and market your game with us. And I was thinking about that. I was thinking about why they had that as their tagline for their ad. And it sort of dawned on me, well, they think that those are the three hardest things that people struggle with, right? Those are the three hardest things of getting a game done, right? So they say 1, starting a game, 2, finishing a game, and then 3, marketing a game. I think number 1 is definitely true. It's definitely a very difficult step for a lot of people. I think there's something else in here, right, that's like sort of along the lines of finishing a game, but it's more like polishing a game. And then rather than finishing a game, it's selling a game, which kind of goes in with marketing, but I see as, the difficult part from once you finished a game to now I have to go through all this stuff to make sure I can sell it, right? To make sure I can get it onto Steam or whatever platform you want to do. And then there might really be a final step here, something like moving on from a game, right, which is actually just starting your next game. I think these are five parts of game development that people really struggle with very generally. Some people more than others on different parts of it. For example, some people might be really good at moving on from a game. on to the next one. But I think indie developers in particular really struggle with that, but it probably ties together a lot with number 2 here, which is polishing a game. There's an attitude in indie development that you have to do early access release and then keep updating your game as you go, and that attitude means that you're never done with your game. You're always polishing it. You can always do something more. Hi, Drew Lives Pinky. Thanks for the eggs. Think egg. Huh. Marketing a game is definitely easier for some people than other ones. And, some people are really good at getting set up with whatever environment. Anyways, those are some things that have been on my mind recently. Particularly this first one, because that's like where I'm at, right? I have this fear in my head that the point which my game is at right now. Bad connection tonight, huh? Sorry to hear that, Drew Loves Pinky. I have this worry or this fear in my head that, well, my game isn't at a point where I can start putting, I don't know what the first thing I do in Unity is. I don't know. That's a pretty concerning place to be. I guess I have a picture in my head. But not a lot on paper. But you can also spend all your time writing stuff on paper, and that's not a game unless you have a board game. You have to really start with it. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Even though I said I was going to probably a couple of streams here where I'm transitioning. I want to start off first and foremost with opening the Unity project. So let's do that. Let's go to Unity Hub. So we have 2020.3.25, this long-term service one. Want to make sure that we have we need to have support for Mac builds and Linux builds. Yeah. My thought process here is that I'm going to be trying to sell this on Steam, so I got to be able to have all these, the game's got to be supported on Linux, Mac, and Windows. I think I already have Windows support, but let me do Universal Windows Platform Build support. I don't know what the difference is, because it already says Windows over here. So those guys are getting installed. This shouldn't take super long. Also, it's crazy to think we're already 3 weeks into the year. Which means we're what is that? 1/17. Yeah, almost. So, a pretty big portion of the way through the year already. Especially if I need to have about, I think it was 6 weeks of time at the end for getting Steam project set up. I think I can still do some development in that time period, but I need to really be wrapping it up at that point. Okay. Looks like our install is complete. Let's do a new project. These are learning templates, not what I want to do. Oh, all templates. Okay. VR, AR, third person, first person, auto showroom, 3D mobile, 2D mobile. So, this is also something I've been kind of torn on about the project. If I want it to be a 3D project and then I just lock it to the 2D aspect ratio, so like the camera doesn't pivot or change at all, kind of like the most recent Link's Awakening 2D. There's these parts here where you go into the 2D view, and I think that they definitely built their whole system in 3 dimensions, and then they just they don't let the camera rotate. So here's another example of it that's pretty good. It shows, so I'm torn between doing something like this where it's 3D and it's just locked in there, or doing something 2D where it's just like this and there's just sprites and stuff. And I think probably the 2D is the way to go. I don't have any modeling experience. So I'm going to go with the 2D core. Curious, I'm going to do the read more here. Uses Unity's built-in renderer, iOS, Android, Linux, macOS, WebGL, Windows. It would also be cool to be able to have the WebGL builds throughout. I would like to have some tech demos and stuff available at different points throughout the year. In fact, I think tech demo will probably be my first main objective. So I want it to be my project folder, and I'm going to call this Chrono Platformer. That's not necessarily the name of the game yet, but that'll be our working project name. so now we've got our scene and it's got nothing in it. We've got our project and it's got our assets folder and it's just got our scenes in it. So here we are. It's a little concerning that we start off with something red. I think I'm probably not signed in. So we got some updates for things. The sprite shape runtime and editor package contains a tooling and runtime component that allows you to create very organic looking spline based 2D worlds. It comes with intuitive configurator and highly performant renderer. Alright, we've also got PSD, which is something for Photoshop. It's a good idea to have things up to date. Plastic SCM is something I'm particularly interested in. Looks like there's a way to do it for free. Okay, I'm going here and making sure that my Visual Studio is set up the way I want it to be. And now I'm gonna go and search in the package registry for something related to Steam. I heard that there was some sort of Steam package that you can get. So we got Steamworks here, we got achievements, that's something I want for sure. Steamworks.net. It's an open source wrapper distributed under MIT license. So it looks like I've gotta make sure to have a Steamworks. I gotta be a Steamworks developer, and I need to have an app ID, which I gotta get through Steam Greenlight, but this might be kind of old because I think it's no longer a Steam Greenlight. This is their actual GitHub, so. Must already be a Steamworks developer. Alright, well, I'm going to bookmark this under coding. Coding Unity. Alright. So now, before going and reading some stuff, I'm going to well, let's call that the end of setting up the project, and let's do some setup of the asset folder. So I'm going to create some initial directories here that I think make sense for my project. So we'll have things like scenes, and within scenes we'll have might have a folder here that's like demos. And then we'll have other kinds of assets. We'll have materials. Scripts. We'll do sprites. Maybe we'll do prefabs. within scenes, we might also have like menus. Within scripts, we'll want to have some folders here. We'll want to have UI scripts, gameplay scripts. Okay. And then to me, it seems like a bad form to leave my scene named sample scene. So I'm going to rename this to main. I'm also going to make the background of the camera something that's obviously wrong, like something really bright and orange like that. So this is what the game looks like right now. Anything that I've not added will be orange behind it. So that will force us to be careful about what goes in. Alright, now let's do a little bit of reading on project setup best practices. So first they talk about directory structure, which is basically what we're already something I was already looking at. So they've other things that would be good. Audio would be a good folder. Models isn't as relevant, and neither is animation. Well, animations might be, because you can still have animations for 2D things. But models not as important because we have sprites instead. But I am going to do audio, and there was another one I saw I liked, which is textures. Resources seems too generic. I'm going to do textures though. Nope, not a script. Within scripts, I also saw that we should have editor scripts. Shaders, maybe. I see music and effects as pretty obvious distinctions within audio. So we've got a few recommendations here. Oh, another one I thought of that'd probably be good would be something like files. That might be for saving stuff, or I don't know, text files for some other reason, data files. Be consistent with naming, having a style that's good. I think I agree with that. So I'm gonna make a folder within files that's like development. And then I really just want to have like a text file in here. I don't know if there's a way to do that. Let's do show in Explorer. We'll give it a new text file. That's like code style. So we have Unity, and then we have within scripts. So class names, camel case, member data, lower camel case with underscore, member functions, camel case, objects, camel case, directories, camel case. Things like static globals, I guess. Uppercase with underscores where needed. learn how to write editor scripts. Defensive programming. Defensive programming is a form of defensive design intended to ensure the continuing function of a piece of software under unforeseen circumstances. All needed references are set. All required components are present. If you're using singletons, make sure that they exist. If you're searching for objects and expect to find something, do it as fast as possible. Mix in editor code. Execute in edit mode and if Unity editor to do as many checks as possible before you run this scene. These ones are interesting, I think. Execute in edit mode. Version control system, definitely something I want to do. Talking about prefabs, that's obviously useful. And then the scene hierarchy structure. Yeah, I'm just gonna like copy this to somewhere. I especially like this first one here. This seems like it could cause a lot of pain. I'll call that scene hierarchy. Call this camel case with spaces. For directories, I think that makes sense to be able to have spaces and stuff in there. Or maybe not. I don't know. In case we ever need to programmatically access a directory, that might be detrimental. I think that the dynamic one is super useful, and lights and cameras and GUI management one seems kind of scary to me. Not sure if I'm huge fan of that, just because people often recommend against big manager type objects. And then terrain versus props in the world. I'm trying to think if that makes sense for a 2D game. I guess. Like this, like the background and maybe some trees that you might pass by are props only. A lot more things are terrain in a 2D game, I think. Okay. So we'll call that directory setup and move on. Well, let's see if one of these other ones has there's a blog here from Unity. This might be interesting. Let me bookmark this for later. Okay. Best Spotlight team best practices project setup. On the Spotlight team, we work with the most ambitious Unity developers to try and push the boundary of what a Unity game can be. We see all sorts of innovative and brilliant solutions for complex graphics, performance, and design problems. We also see the same set of issues and solutions coming up again and again. Folder structure. If your project layout has good answers for the following questions, it's probably a pretty good layout. Who made this? Is it something your team made or is it something you bought? Well, I think that the assets versus packages thing helps define that, but this is where having a third-party folder would be useful. Just in case, because I don't know for sure how the packages folder works, if that's only things through the package manager. Yeah. Code coverage. Is there a unit test here? Test framework. We do have a test framework. Test framework for running edit mode and play mode tests in Unity. And then we can get code coverage for that. That'd probably be good. Sorry, I got kind of distracted there. What type of thing is this? Script, audio, art, design. You want to be able to see a problem in game and track down the data. So I think design is the one that I was focusing on for the got files and then development. We can have design stuff in here. What area of the game does this cover? If it is it just in a specific level, all over the place, or only used in the launch screen? Is data coherent? Is a prefab or a character near the model. Floating folders. So they do two underscore scenes, and that makes it all the way at the top. It's an interesting idea. If you put a username on a folder from the asset store, it can't overwrite it. Yeah, I kind of like this better, where they've got like level, system, environment, character as folders, and then they put all the scripts and materials and stuff associated with those in each of those. I think I'm actually going to go for that, because I've seen this kind of thing a lot. So we have one folder that's like characters, one folder that's like world. I don't know, I liked environment better. Environment. The thing is, I don't know if I'm going to have multiple levels or not. So I don't know if I want to have a folder for levels. But I do see the value in having a folder for system. And then all of these things, audio materials, prefabs, scripts, sprites, textures, those guys exist for all of characters, environment, and system. Although maybe not system for some of them, but. So I'm going to cut those out of there. I think I can do that. Ah. Why doesn't Unity project have that? Unity project copy paste. Not the whole project, I just want the Unity project folder copy paste. It'll just be faster to go and make something for all these audio materials, prefab scripts. Sprites. This might be getting a little too specific too soon. The scripts one I definitely agree with though. Should probably also spell scripts correctly. I think the system one just needs a script folder for now. UI. Editor. And gameplay. Hi, I'm W2 Melvin's dad. Thanks for joining. Just doing some work right now on setting up the directory for my project. These are some good suggestions. I don't plan on not using Unity's built-in audio, so time. fixed time step. So my target frame rate is 60 frames per second. Player. Other settings, rendering. DirectX 11 GPU skinning, graphics jobs. I don't know what these things are, but I like the argument they're making here. And yeah. So in physics, default solver iterations. Quality. Don't know if I'm that worried about having a better anti-aliasing setting. VSync count. VSync count. think we want that to be every v blank. Okay, now we go to editor, version control. This is not something we've set up yet, so where is version control anyways? Oh, it's higher, I think. Oh, it's got its own thing now. Asset serialization. Oh, here, asset serialization mode, force text. We'll do your save project. Okay, now let's look at Plastic SCM Unity. So I'm not super worried about making sure that I can collaborate with people on this, because I don't think I'm going to be collaborating, at least right now. But getting used to version control is a really good idea, so. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the size of the project's going to be. We're going to go to be right back while I input credit card information. Alright, so once you set up Plastic, it does just complete onboarding. Hello, Yuan from Unity Technologies. There's a dashboard overview. It brings together your key game metrics under one roof. Cool. Discover solutions. Dive into suites. What is closer, Northern Virginia or Japan? Probably Northern Virginia. Will this project be primarily targeted to children under 13? No, I don't think so. Unity has several brand new services now in open beta. You can get access to any of these services for your entire organization at no charge. Okay. So, plastic seems like it should go here. So we've got, we're gonna add everything. And we'll have a check and comment, be like, initial project setup. Wow, the typing is really delayed. Then I'll do check-in changes, and it says check-in successfully completed. No incoming changes. We have change set. These are our commits, basically. And then we have branches. We have our main branch, and assume we can make other branches somehow. Oh, can I just like have a desktop version of this, or what?
Hi, I'm going to explain how to create a Cloud Edition organization. There are two options. The first one is from the web. You go to Cloud, then you click on Subscribe, and then you have the option to enter your personal details, your name, company, and address, and so on, then the email and password.
Plastic SCM helps teams get more work done, task after task. We believe version control is one of the cornerstones of team productivity. It can help your team move faster or slow you down. Plastic is designed around task branches. This will help you focus on moving work forward and blends seamlessly with DevOps. Never stop delivering. You can simply create a branch for each task and merge it when the task is done. Plastic gives you all the tools you need for version control. You can diff your code, visualize your repos in a very natural way, solve any merges, do amazing things like tracking moved code even across files, and take advantage of native GUIs. If you don't need branches, you can use Gluon, a super simplified tool and workflow to deal with files you want to lock. you can manage really big repos and huge files. Work centralized, just check in and you're done. Or fully distributed in pure Git style. Refactor projects and move files and directories. Fine-tune security settings. Host repos on Plastic Cloud if you don't want to handle your own server. You can interop with Git using Plastic as a Git client, or as a server for team members and tools who only speak the Git protocol. Finally, you'll be fully supported by an accessible team of true experts. We build Plastic. Enjoy Plastic SCM.
Okay. Okay. So here's this branch explorer that they were talking about. Okay. So yeah, we can see we're on the cloud now, so we've got our things in here that we expected to have. Cool. I find it really interesting that the project is 0 gigabytes still. Like, well, these files definitely have some size. Okay. Yeah, and I don't know what this Unity gaming service thing, how this relates to Plastic, or if I just had to set this up to be able to use Plastic. I don't know. I would say we're done setting that up though. Now, the last thing I was interested in checking out was project management for my work. So I'm interested in using JIRA. So I use JIRA at work. We have like our own server managed thing, but a free plan should support me, and no credit card required for free use, and that's really nice, at least. So I'm going to continue get this set up. Okay, well, I guess I'll have my site be bfreestead at Atlassian.net. Everything? I don't know. Will call myself a project manager. The reason I want to use JIRA is to be able to create features and stories and be able to rate them and use that information to prioritize what work I need to do. And yeah. So we'll do the chrono platformer. Yeah, Scrum seems good. I'm not super familiar with the differences in base JIRA between Scrum and Kanban. But I want to be able to have a bit more overview. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up now. This is a good place to jump off from for the next thing. Yes. Not sure I have a good way to show. But, oh, that's different. Let's see, got some pictures of our puppy getting a dog here it was born just earlier today, or yesterday. It was born in the middle of the night. And we should be getting it in about 7 weeks. So got something cool to look forward to. Might have a webcam set up later, recording the dog while I do live streams or something. Oh, looks like I lost my screen share. Wonder what that's all about. It's interesting. Okay, let's wrap it up here. I'm gonna take some notes on things I've done. Talked about the main impediments to game development. I then set up a Unity project, project organization, read tutorials and blogs. Then I went on to setting up Plastic SCM, and then some JIRA project management. Next time I'm probably going to start out with JIRA epics. So that is going to be all for today. Thanks for joining, and have a nice night.